Buenos días, clase. O buenas tardes. I don't know what time you're seeing this. Hope you're doing well. ¿Qué me falta? Todos. Oh, okay, clase. So for today, we're going to be talking about the conditional tense, and pretty easy. In theory, we have already gone through all of the true future tense, and therefore, if you invested the time in the irregulars for the true future tense, easy peasy doing the conditional now, because they use the same stems for the irregulars. They just have a different set of endings. All right. And then stay tuned at the end of the little lesson here for an absolutely amazing previous student submission of an end-of-year project that dealt with the conditional tense. So over the top. She even included some practice at the end of the handy-dandy project. So enjoy. Remember, as I've said before, if I can teach you the tense and then get it to some type of music, it'll really help move it to that long-term memory. So let's shift over to the board and let's talk about the conditional tense. Okay, clases, so here we go. The conditional tense, muy fácil, pretty easy stuff. So to begin, the whole reason we use the conditional tense is to talk about what you could or would do, all right? In Spanish 2, that's as far as we take it. Spanish 3 gets a little bit more intense with the imperfect subjunctive, but for now, all we're talking about is conditional, is what you could or would do. It helps you talk about what would happen under certain conditions, and it's also used to make polite requests. So, for example, iríamos al cine, we would go to the movies, si mi mamá podría manejarnos, and my mom could drive us, all right? So there's one action depending on another for something to be able to take place, all right? For like the conditional tense, AR, ER, and IR verbs all have the same set of endings. So how sweet is that? So once again, we're cut a break and we're using the full infinitive. Remember that the infinitive is the unconjugated version of the verb. So if you were to look it up in a dictionary, that's the infinitive form, unchanged. All right. And therefore, you're taking that infinitive and only one set of endings, just like we did before with the true future tense. So we have our infinitive, ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais for your vosotros, and ellos, ellas, ustedes, ian. Notice again, just like what we did with the true future, the yo form and the él, ella, usted form are the same conjugation. So the only way you can tell who it is either having a personal pronoun there or seeing it in context, all right? Now, these endings should look familiar to you. Take a moment. What do you think? These are the endings that you used for the imperfect tense way back when, all right? But that was actually a conjugation with removing the last two letters and then adding these to the end. Now, with the conditional tense, like I said before, full infinitive, and then add these endings. So it should be pretty easy, right? You have some irregular verbs here. Of course, couldn't get off that easy. So take a look, just like before. If you learned them in the future tense, they're the same stems that you had, and then you add the endings that I just showed you before. Remember, the scary one that always gets missed is querer goes to a double R. I'm going to give you something you can take a picture of in the next screen. So hang on. Alrighty, so remember we've done the future tense. So these are the endings you would add to the true future tense. Here's your conditional tense endings. And then here are your irregular stems. This would be a great screen to do a screenshot of or take a picture of. It will help you when you're doing your workbook assignment, because now you have all the irregular stems as well as the endings that you would use. All right, I know it's not in its chart form, but here's your yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, and ellos, ellas, ustedes. So I hope that helps. Let me show you some examples. I'm going to cut back over to my website so we can do that, and then we'll wrap it up with that great project by a previous student. All right, let's take a look at some examples. So the first one, yo estaría a favor de comprar flores para embellecer la comunidad. I would be in favor, or I could be, or I would be in favor of buying flowers to beautify the community. It's implying that that's a maybe, something that could happen. Siempre diríamos la verdad. We would or should or could always tell the truth. And then, ¿te gustaría ir al cine conmigo? Would you like to go to the movies with me? A very polite way of making a request. All right. The conditional form of haber is habría, and that would be used in the way of there would be, like there would be homework or there would be nice weather. So that's how you would use that. So conditional, not too hard. Again, take the infinitive and then add the appropriate endings. Otherwise, if it's an irregular, put the irregular stem and then add the endings to it. So I'm going to wrap this up with, like I said, an amazing student project. Hopefully a song gets stuck in your head and it helps you review and learn the tense. Bueno, clase, goodbye for now, and I hope you have a good day. Adios.
In life, one has to face a huge assortment of conjugating verbs and vocab lists. There's differences depending on the region, but don't be so discouraged by that twist. So listen to these words, don't detest, and then Miss Clyne will be so impressed. Now conditional is easy, you will learn it very briefly. It is used when someone could or would do. It is used to be polite, and with some effort you just might memorize it just by listening to this too. The infinitive's your base, and put the endings right in place. Add the accents on them all, nosotros too. And now we know the way to put conditional in place. Now it's time to add the ends and conjugate. These endings you will learn are for A or IR verbs, and the endings stay the same every time. Don't forget to use the whole verb. That means leave the or, ir, and er. Now here's the ends to make them into words. Ia is for the O form, and ias is for the to form. Then it's ia again for ea and el. Íamos for nosotros, and finally ian for ellos. Now conditional will be your strongest suit.